Welcome back to Switch Point. We are at episode 12. If you don't realize it already, I am not the same Noah that you are used to. I am Rain Hikari, and I am with Payne for another episode of Switch Point. Of course, Payne is here, and we're just going to yap about Switch. I know we don't really have a lot of news, but I mean, what's going on, Payne?
Oh, things are always exciting over here. But
Oh.
really, one of the biggest talking points I've been seeing this week, I know it's bad when I walk into work and hear random people talking about it, but
Yeah.
it's about this new license agreement that Nintendo's put out. People are talking about Switches getting bricked and all this other stuff, them listening to game chat recordings. I feel like people are only freaking out because Nintendo hasn't really stepped up to the plate in this regard of online like the other companies have.
I think people have just been so unfair to Nintendo,
I'd
and that's just me
honestly
being
agree.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
I think people are looking at Nintendo as like the progenitor of all like issues in their lives, you know? Like, it's just like, dude, I think that people are just being so disingenuous and they want Nintendo to be at fault for everything. Like, I get it. Like, okay, the $80 game thing, like, I'm going to put that on Nintendo's shoulders. Like, I get it that did launch off, a new standard, a new precedent, but I don't think it's that bad. Like, I don't think it's that bad where people should be so upset at Nintendo, to the point where they're just like pretending to boycott the console. I'll tell you right now, I mean, that console is going to sell more than the PlayStation 5 ever sold. I mean, I'm putting money on that. I don't know how much money I'm putting on that, but I'm putting money on it. I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to fail whatsoever. Um, I think the Switch 1 was already so successful. And I think regardless of what people are complaining about, license agreements and game carts and all this other stuff and $80 video games, like I'm not excusing them for any of it, right? The game cart thing is a little more understandable. Some people don't get the point of the game carts. You guys already had an episode about it, so I'm not going to get into it. But my thing is with the $80 games is that's a little strange, right? I get it maybe for the game carts, but the reason why they're doing that, and Marquez Brownlee talked about this with Bowers and Wilkins, right? They were one of the first companies to basically say, guys, we're not going to give a price to this yet because we don't know how the tariffs are going to affect the cost of our device, right? That we're selling. And Marquez Brownlee was like, that's ridiculous because your headset or headphones are already $700. It's just that these companies don't want to affect their own margins and change their margins, right? Like they're not willing to decrease the amount of money they're making, you know, because of the tariffs. Like they don't want to lose money. They would rather upcharge us and make us take the hit for the tariffs, right? Instead of them losing money on them. So it's like even when this company is charging $700 for a pair of headphones, they're still going to charge more because they would rather make that full amount than charge the same amount and make a little less, still enough to keep their company afloat, right? But just it's ridiculous. The greed is insane. And I'm not saying that Nintendo specifically is greedy for this, but this is just insane to me that we're even talking about $80 as a base price for anything, right? When, games nowadays are doing deluxe editions that are, 3-day early access versions of the game. And that's become like a normal thing, It's become a normal thing for games to sell like expensive deluxe editions that are just basically early copies of the game. Like Sparking Zero was one that I had to get. That game didn't end up lasting very long, unfortunately. But Sparking Zero, I had to have it. I was really upset that they didn't add any maps to the game after it came out. I thought that was really ridiculous. So I don't know when I'm going to go back to that game. Bandai Namco, I'm talking directly to you. where are the maps in Sparking Zero? This is the main reason why the game is failing.
Look, they're
Is because,
waiting to do like the Switch 2 Super Deluxe that'll have like
man,
all the extras, just like they did with like all these Switch 1 versions.
did you see the Final Fantasy VII comparisons of Remake 1 on the PS5 and the Switch 2?
I saw a little bit on Twitter, but I haven't seen anything like full res or probably not compressed.
I hope this doesn't sound like glazing, but I think that the Switch 2 version looks a little better. And I don't know if I'm crazy.
Yeah, pretty much with just a lot of the Switch 2 situation. I do like Noah and I have complained about quite a few things, but our ultimate outlook is, excitement, which I'm pretty sure you share that like a similar level of excitement, but still like some reservations. Because there's just there's a lot going on with the Switch 2 and just everything
Yeah,
surrounding it.
I have reservations mainly because I'm not really a party game person like everybody else. Like I'm not really a big Mario Party person. Like I'll play it if you invite me to a session,
I'm the
but
same
it's not
way.
something that I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's not something that I'm really playing like that. So, same thing with Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart and I used to grind it when I was a kid, but now that
Hmm.
I'm older, I really don't even, and sorry for the blasphemy, guys. I know I'm like the, co-owner, co-founder, creator of Final Weapon, but like I don't really play that many games. So like, and I have a lot of games under my belt, but it's like I've become very particular about what I want to play. And because I don't want to review most things that come out, and most of the time the people that work at the company are reviewing it instead of me. Because I'm not really somebody who likes to write either. It's just not something I do. Just to get an insight into my character, I am the creative director of the company, and I am at the very pinnacle of the company with my co-founder Noah, and we're are both of our names are Noah, so it's like confusing for some people. So I go by Rain Hikari, not because his name is Noah, but because that's just my pen name. It's just what I prefer. Y'all can call me Noah if you want, but don't get it confused. There's two of us.
So,
Um,
are you Noah 1 or Noah 2 in this
I'm
situation?
Noah one. I'm
Oh,
Noah one because he used to be other Noah. Like we used to call him like Pink
other.
Noah because he had like a pink profile picture.
uh,
Yeah, he's Noah too, but at the moment he's just Noah because I am Rain Hikari. So, and by the way, the Rain is a very unique choice by me. It's not that I'm obsessed with the Rain or anything like that. Actually, the name comes from me being a big Final Fantasy fan and thinking about Cloud and Lightning and thinking about what's missing from the equation and going, "Oh, I am Rain."
so, did you do this
Um,
name before Brave Exvius?
I did.
Okay,
At
so
least I did before I was aware of that.
yeah, I think that phone game came out like 2015, 2016.
No, my Rain did not come out before, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a
it's just
Rain
an
in Brave
obscure
Exvius.
thing.
He's the main protagonist. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, the game's dead in America now, so you have free reign. Okay,
Stop. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Nah, that's one of the best puns I've ever heard anybody say. Shout out to Payne for this incredible wittiness of his.
thank
Um,
goodness we have it all on tape.
dude, what? Like, okay, I didn't know the Brave Exvius protagonist was named Rain. That's so frustrating.
Hold on,
Okay,
what you should do is just look up some of his limit breaks and then just kind of aura farm yourself and be like, okay,
dude,
I can do better.
why does he look like a Type Zero character?
He looks almost exactly like Ace.
He does. He looks like Ace, but I can't. I can't. Hikari comes from Mega Man. It does not come from Kingdom Hearts. And while I do have a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, the Hikari is from Battle Network. Because that's the surname of
Lon
Lan and
Hikari.
Saito. Exactly.
Best Mega Man
Um.
games. Or
Oh
oh well,
no! Wait a
we have the
minute.
hidden Mega Man lore of Final
Hold
Weapon. So
on.
is this controversial?
Hold on, guys. We know. Okay, if Payne, do you know? I think you know already.
Yeah, I
You've been
do.
here for a while. You've been, guys. For anybody watching Switchpoint who's not aware of this, Final Weapon's name comes from Mega Man X4, the game where Zero's like the worst voice acted character of all time. Like,
Dude,
no disrespect
why
to the voice actor,
haven't
but
they just gone back to like those games
redub
like
it.
because they've had Johnny Young Bosch on call for Zero for like 2 decades almost.
It's been a very long time, dude. 2 decades. That's crazy. Whoa, chill. Jesus Christ.
Just
I remember
about.
when he was voiced by Lucas Gilbertson in Mega Man X8, who has like a very
They
kind of
tried.
niche YouTube channel. Dude, no, Mega Man X8's voice actor for Zero is sick. The one right before.
Oh, I haven't played X8.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one right before Johnny Young Bosch is nuts. The X8 voice acting is actually really good.
Oh,
He
okay.
has kind of like this nasally, like kind of nerdy but edgy voice that like is very, very particular that you just have never heard any other VA do. And I really miss the way he sounded. I mean, I like Johnny Young Bosch, don't get it twisted. But like the Zero and Mega Man X8 is completely wholly one-to-one unique. Like nobody else sounds like that. You'll
That's
have to
something I
listen
miss
to it.
with a lot of dubs. Like we used to have more unique voices, if that makes sense.
Ooh, this is a crazy topic to pull up on Switchpoint. We're treating this thing like weaponized. By the way, not to interrupt you, I don't want people to think that Payne is attacking any voice actors because I agree
Oh
with him
no.
completely. You know, like voice
Like this could
actors
even
are
come down to voice direction or just various other factors, you know?
right. Honestly, it's like all respect to all the VAs, but I feel like voice direction has just gotten so linear. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like,
It feels very flat. It feels very flat.
yeah, there's no dynamism.
Like we're at a
Like,
weird point in dubs where I could say across the board they're higher quality than they used to be, but they're also flatter. Like we're not getting like this drop dead amazing like dub that legit has you in tears all the time.
right.
But I feel like when we were I'm trying to think of some really good old dubs. Controversial.
Um,
I know it has some issues here and there, but FF10's dub for that era is like pretty god tier in my opinion.
it's good. Yeah, it's good. I really like Dark Cloud 2's dub. Dark Cloud 2's dub is really good. That's one of the older dubs that I do like. American television was always good. Um, Obviously that's not a dub, but like, oh, yes, it is. 4Kids, like Pokemon, even like Cartoon
Yeah,
Network,
like despite some localization
Yu-Gi-Oh.
issues here and there, a lot of those actors go ham.
Oh, they're like a lot of them are still around.
I know,
You
like
know,
it was crazy. Like Dan Green, he voiced like a character in like the original Four Kids dub of Shaman King, and came back
yeah,
for the redub of like the remake.
it's so epic, dude. And you know what's crazy is Dan Green voices Mewtwo. I watched every Pokemon movie in like chronological order,
Hell yeah!
like
Like
within a week's time.
I think the only Pokemon movies I haven't seen, like I've only seen part of that CG remake Pokemon movie. Oddly enough, we got back onto Nintendo by talking about anime dubs and then getting into Pokemon movies.
Hey, you know, this is gonna be a chaotic one for me to edit, but it's whatever. Like, you know,
Like
like
I think this really shows like this will be the Rain era on Switch Point. Like you're gonna get some variety in here, but we'll always get back on Nintendo.
yeah, no, because like I've never been on a Switch Point episode, so I'm like thinking about weaponized constantly, and how I approach weaponized is like very freeform. Like me and Noah will talk about like the weekend, like in the middle of like talking about a video game. We'll be like, hey
Dang,
man,
maybe I
you
need to
know,
slide on to the odd weaponized episode.
no, weaponized is great. Like we're just talking about whatever. Like most of the time, like weaponized is like whatever we want to talk about. We're just gonna talk about it. It's a completely free form podcast. It doesn't have any limitations towards anything. It's just like whatever's coming up in our mind, we're gonna talk about it. And that's kind of our chemistry on that cast. On Switch Point, we're a little more honed in on Nintendo. Um, so I'll keep it to Nintendo, of course. Pokemon's anime is incredible. honestly. The main issue I have with it is that Ash Ketchum does not age and that he realistically should be 2 to 3 years older, technically,
I think
based on
that's
the
what they
amount of
just
days
should
that
have
passed.
done. And like, there's that one special, like was it with like the Lucario and the Mystery of Mew one? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
there's that
yeah,
one
I would call
special
those
where it's
all
like, "Hey Pikachu,
mhm.
it's the 1 year anniversary since we met." Like, wait,
Yeah, was that in that movie? I gotta remember because
it
I've
was
seen every single film.
from that era of Pokemon movies where they had that like short,
Mhm.
because they had the little party, and I think it might have been like one of the Pichu brothers shorts. And what's funny is like, do you know how common it is that I just bump into people that have this whole all Pokemon trainers are 10 years old mindset, when like the manual for like red and green were like, oh yeah, red and green are 11.
Yes. That's like why is it always that the trainers are so young?
I think
Like,
I think in the X and Y manga they dated those protagonists at 16.
they
Like,
are older. Yeah, they are
and
older.
then Black and White are 14, but then Black and White 2 are supposed to be 12.
See, I can't talk to Noah about this because he doesn't know that. He doesn't even follow Pokemon, so he has no idea.
But I also don't think there's like a game protagonist that's explicitly said to be 10, because
No,
I don't think they
I don't
throw
think
like the
so.
Gen 3 and 4 ages around, but they seem like they would be like in that more tween age rather than 10.
Yeah, they're like I believe they're like between 10 and 12 some of them. Isn't was it Calum X and Y age? They're like yeah, they're supposed to be 15 to 16 years old.
I'm just trying to think why they should just age up more Pokemon protagonists. Like, in Sun and Moon, you actually meet Red and Blue when they're older. Like, we
Yes.
should get more of that. I get it's neat seeing the Gen 1ers like age throughout the games, but it's like, dude, imagine if like Gen 10 or something, it's like, oh, you get to have like a fight with Ethan, but he's like 20.
Oh, that'd be so sick. Who's your favorite game protagonist from Pokemon?
Uh, like, I personally do adore Red. Like, there's just so much history with him
His
and
aura
a
is
lot
insane.
mad aura. Like, I'm pretty sure my Twitter profile picture before it was Nia from Xenoblade 2 was Red.
Whoa, okay. I didn't know that. That must have been before I met you.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I really do love Red, but I also enjoy Hilbert from Black and White. But even though he's basically just another Red.
I like Brendan.
Brendan's good. What fit is the best though? Is it the original, the Emerald, or the remake fit?
You're giving me a hard time. You're literally putting me on the spot right now. You're actually putting me on the spot. Dude, you're actually putting me on the spot, bro. What is wrong with you? Hold on, bro. Wait. I need to literally look at them side by side. It is not Ores for sure. I do not like the shoulders on that. Um, brother, what is going on? What the heck? Pokemon Masters has so many outfits for this person.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, I can't even keep up with Pokemon Masters. Like, it has an insane content grind, but then they're constantly releasing just awesome alts.
No, the alts are crazy. The
Like,
alts are
dude,
crazy.
there's like one for like Ethan where he has like a Lugia outfit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
sick.
Dude, probably like the original, like I would say Emerald is my favorite Brendan outfit because that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that one. There's things I like about the Oros one, but I think it's overall leans way too much into like the water sportwear, which I get it makes sense
Yeah,
for
he looks like he's about to start swimming.
it makes sense for
Like,
Hoenn in a sense, because my 70% water, 7.8 out of 10.
what is it, 7.8 or 7.2?
I think it was 7.8 because I think it was one of those whole why didn't you just give it an 8 like
Yeah, it's
arguments.
7.8.
Yeah, see,
7.8 out of 10. It's
locked
so
in.
random, like
11
stupid.
years later, and I'm still salty.
I get it that it's, you're salty because of all the water, you know? Like that's why you're salty is because there's too much water. Um, dude, too much water.
Bruh.
I'm just looking at the image, but I want to say like 7.8 out of 10 too much water is hilarious.
It's
That
like
is
it
hilarious.
goes in that's in the all-timer quote book for like game reviews for me.
No, it's really iconic because it's a stupid review. It's like a stupid score with a stupid con. You know, like there's no way that took points off the game. Like that doesn't even make sense. I would have taken points off the game for not having Battle Frontier. That's what I
Like
would have taken points off the
or
game
like
for.
I don't know how the Pokemon Company hasn't made like an actual good alternative to the Game Corner.
Dude, yeah, why does it what's so what's
Like
so wrong with gambling?
why
Why can't we gamble?
like even if it's not gambling, make an arcade. Is it illegal in Europe to go to Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, exactly. I want an arcade in every game. I think every game, even Kingdom Come Deliverance should have an arcade. I need an arcade in Oblivion. I need something where I can just smash my hands on something and it's not a person. You know?
But
Like
this is another weird thing. I know Pokemon doesn't have the game corner because gambling, but is Dragon Quest rated 18 or something over there?
it's so frustrating cuz gambling is really fun in games. Like in Judgment,
And that's like where it
when
can't
you're
hurt
in
you.
no, I
Like,
know you can't be hurt by it because it's not real. It's more that it's like incentivizing people to gamble because it's giving them the feeling of gambling, right? And kind of like they kind of see it as like you're indoctrinating children into a gambling addiction. Um,
EA is sweating so hard right now as you talk about this.
I really want Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. I don't
Please,
care
please.
about the GameCube version of the game anymore. The HD version is so much better.
Like,
Y'all can
dude,
argue with a wall. Like,
the only thing I miss from original Wind Waker is just the cell shading kind of has a different effect, you know? But Wind Waker HD is
yeah.
the Swift sail and it runs at 60.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks way better. Um and I think it encapsulates the aesthetic very well, you know? When they upgraded it to HD, it just looked better. It wasn't like, they ruined what made Wind Waker look good in the first place, you know? It still has its core aesthetic intact.
Yeah, and there's just something so satisfying about how the HD lighting looks in that game. Like,
Yeah.
it's just really interesting looking. Like, not even Breath of the Wild quite has like that atmosphere, you know?
No, I know. I do like Breath of the Wild and I do like Tears of the Kingdom, but if we're comparing it to like the other Zelda games, like even Skyward Sword, it's very plain. Like it's
Yeah,
incredibly plain compared to those games.
still looks nice, but it pretty much is like chasing that Ghibli look in a way, you know?
Dude, facts. No, it is. It is. I
While
go
Skyward
ahead.
Sword, with that, in interviews, they're like, oh, it's supposed to have this painterly look in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Well, in Skyward
Right.
Sword, things literally look like watercolor when you're far enough away. Like, it has a really unique depth of field effect.
It's gorgeous. I
Like,
think Skyward Sword is really gorgeous.
it, dude, it sucks. I still have not played the Switch version of it.
I heard it was incredible. I heard
Like,
it was like a huge upgrade to the original.
you always know an HD remaster is just banging when it's like, oh yeah, it's just 1080 60 across the board with new stuff and updates. It's like,
Yeah, that's a much better remaster than like ruining what made the original game good, you
mm-hmm.
know? Cuz some remasters are like that, like Lollipop Chainsaw.
Like I was so disappointed to hear that because I'm a Suda fan. Like I love No More Heroes especially, and
Right.
I didn't have like a PS3 or anything, or really I wasn't into Suda during that era either. So I was like, oh cool, Lollipop Chainsaw and Shadows of the Damned, like bruh. And then just
Right.
especially that Lollipop Chainsaw remaster just crashing through the earth. Just Like, guys, No More Heroes 3 just came out like a few years ago, and Lollipop Chainsaw's not even as bad as that sometimes.
That's crazy.
Like,
Dude,
it's just
you know
disappointing.
it's
I wonder what the Switch version's like.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Um what I will say is Pokemon Legends ZA on the Switch 2 looks pretty good. I'm not going to say that the graphics are like mind bending. They're definitely not.
But
But
actually,
I think
being
it
able
gives me
to
a lot of
see
faith.
things.
wait, wait. Actually being able to see things is crazy. Because
That
that
resolution bump.
implies that you, wait, that implies, wait, stop. That implies that you couldn't
Like,
like before.
look, I cannot perceive Switch 1 games anymore. The Switch 2
No, I
has
know.
risen.
Exactly, dude. I'm telling you, you remember when you would get in those zones in Sword and Shield when like, everybody else that's playing would pop up?
Oh god, that's why I played in offline mode, because I tried online mode
Yeah.
once when getting the game, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like 8 frames if more than 2 people are on screen. And then if
It's
like
so
you hit a
embarrassing.
sandstorm or something,
Oh, you know what
it's
that,
so
you know what,
clear it's Sword and Shield,
bro.
much less so than like, Scarlet and Violet. We're just directly like basically that 3DS engine just tacked onto the Switch.
I'm sorry. I'm crying. I have ADHD really bad. So when you said Sandstorm, I was thinking about like the theme in Hoenn and like Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald.
Oh, I
They're
thought
like
about the song.
like that's what I'm thinking about.
You
When I'm thinking
see,
about the Sandstorm.
so where they need to that just made me thinking about Pokemon. So we got Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So we should totally
I
get
pick
Gen 2
Eevee all
Let's
day long.
Goes. I'm a big Pikachu stan.
You're dead to me.
I'm literally the
Rest in
devil, I
peace.
know.
It's okay.
You see,
It's
the
okay. I
devil
forgive
doesn't
you.
have horns, they're actually Pikachu ears.
Oh, you know what? That could be a great video essay. It's like just completely anti TPC video where I'm
Look,
just like, the devil doesn't have horns. It's Pikachu ears. Like,
Final Weapon, we're about to bring back the religious Pokemon scare from the 90s.
oh my God. Bro, I have like a couple of friends who couldn't play Pokemon because of their parents.
Same. Like, eventually his mom did give up, like, okay, it's just a Nintendo game. But then it's like he never got to, like, watch Harry Potter.
Right. What was okay? Harry Potter, that makes a
It
little more
makes more
sense.
sense.
Right, because there's some level of semblance of just, hey, this is alternative towards Christianity, right? But it's like with with Pokemon, it's like I don't understand. Like, okay, when fourth gen came out, yeah. I mean, if the parents knew the lore of Pokemon, is like, Arceus is God, and
And we didn't even
there's
get
all
that
these
event
like,
over here. So that, like, I don't see how any parent would have just flipped their lid unless they're like, oh
right, they
gosh.
wouldn't have
Do you
known.
think
They
there's
wouldn't have
parents
until the movie came out.
that would mauled so hard about like a certain thing that they just like wiki surf to like own their kids?
No, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. Like the Arceus and the Jewel of Life movie comes out and they're like, God.
They like raise their
like
eyebrow, like
God question mark. What do you mean? You mean when he dies, the entire world disappears? Dialga and Palkia, the creators of time and space, respectively. They're not even they're the very concepts of time and space. There's only one God. It's the Christian
they
God.
just start shaking. Like
Like, there can't be so many deities. This is not acceptable. What are we in? Like, what is this, Hindu? like,
no, those kind of parents are the kind of parents that where like all of Asia is just actually China.
dude. Oh my God, though, dude. Have you ever seen? I want to be ninja. Like, have you seen that before,
Yeah,
bro?
bro, like a friend sent me that years ago and I'm like, dude, she's talking about going down to Chinatown, but there's ninjas.
Yes,
Like,
it makes no sense. It's like it's like what they used to do back in the day. Like they used to like confuse like all of the cultures of Asia.
dude, like, it- I'd say it's still fairly bad in the South.
Oh yeah, no, the South has no idea.
Cause like,
Like my
dude,
father,
like,
he's like really country and he does
oh
not get it.
boy,
He doesn't get it at all. And they love K-drama by the way.
woof.
Old my old country white father is big into K-drama for some reason. It's very interesting. I get it. I get the obsession with BTS. I get it. You know, I get it. I get it. The music's not exceptional. Wait, I'll cut that out of the podcast. Somebody's going to find it eventually. And they're going to be like, what do you mean?
No, it gives
Your
us
death is
engagement.
today.
Okay,
Oh, I know. No.
save this like deleted clip for the Final Weapon Twitter, and then we can ask
Uh-huh.
Elon for money.
Yes. Be like, Elon,
We
please
start engagement
monetize.
farming. Like,
Dude,
yeah,
or like those,
we report the news, but we're gonna crap all over K-pop on occasion, just when we
bro,
when we need a little boost.
those gambling clips, bro, or sorry, those gambling Twitter accounts that used to post for like steak and like chips.gg,
Oh
bro.
God.
It's like they're reposting a bunch of stuff we've already seen like a year ago and like quoting it and like acting like nobody's seen it and they're like tweet decking and boosting it.
The
It's
funniest
insane.
thing about those was just every single one of them had a community note. I didn't see a single like reposted steak video that did not have a community note.
Yeah, and I think steak's getting sued.
As they should if if like they've just stolen all this just to capitalize off it.
It's ridiculous. Like it's kind of like the most evil way of like advertising ever. Like instead of like actually using regular ads, they're like, let's talk to a bunch of influencers that are manipulating the algorithm and stealing people's tweets from like a year ago and have them just like repost tweets and quote them and like all work together to promote our big brand. Like it's so dark. It's so dark. Like they've completely subverted like everything that's been set up to prevent this from happening. And it's like it's nuts, dude. It was like super evil. And it's still prevalent. Like they still do it, but like Steak hasn't done it in a while. Like there's different companies coming out that are doing it, you know? It used to be Rainbet before Steak. You know, like there was always like just somebody like giving somebody money to finesse the system to advertise their gambling company. It's like it's just all very evil. And I do want to gamble at the game corner still, but it's not real.
Like, yeah,
Um
like I don't want gambling to pop onto Twitter and yada yada because I want to be too busy playing the game corner. And the thing is,
exactly.
if they did just make it an arcade, they could have so much more mini game variety than just what a casino could offer.
Yeah, what about like you know how Mario 64 on the DS
Oh,
has like all those
dude.
mini games?
Like
Like why can't they
I
do
love
that?
that stuff. And like
It was so
you can
addicting.
kidify some stuff like I don't care if I'm playing Go
Kidify.
Fish as long as the cards have Pokemon on them.
Yeah, Pokemon has games like that on the phone, like that Magikarp game.
Dude,
Like there's
I
like
used to play
weird
that
silly
Magikarp
games.
jump stuff.
Oh, you did?
Like, yeah, like it's like one of those like you download a phone game and play it for 2 days, then never play it
Yeah, then you
again.
drop it forever. Yeah, I know all about that. I'll tell you right now, I know all about
Like
that.
just
I've done that
yesterday
so
I
many
downloaded
times.
like 5 phone games. Like, yeah,
Oh my god.
I'll play Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage for 10 minutes and then never play it again.
Hatsune Miku addicts, bro, Vocaloid fans. Shout out to y'all. That's the end of my statement. That's it. Shout out to the Vocaloid fans. I do like Makaku City actors. I do like Kagero Project. Um, I am a fan of certain Vocaloid projects. I do like. I don't know if I like the music of Vocaloid, but I like the concept. I like the idea, but I'm not like a big Vocaloid fan. Welcome to the 16th episode of Weaponized. Basically, is where we're at right now.
This is the
Nintendo.
crossover episode. Well,
Yes.
we just got Hatsune Miku fitness boxing. Yeah, we just got that on
Oh
Switch not
God.
long ago. So
Uh,
it's all part of the Keikaku.
the Keikaku is insane. It's all a part of the Nintendo Zaibatsu, guys. Like it's all a part of the giant, governmental corporation that owns us all.
And only
We
only the Nakama here at Final Weapon can overcome it.
Dude, I um I really 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 think that Donkey Kong Bonanza needs to be insanely good, because if it's not insanely good, I don't think Nintendo's ever going to bring Donkey Kong back as like an individual game ever again, like as by himself, like in his own game.
And like it does look good. The
It
thing
looks
about the
really good.
trailer, I just don't know like the progression or what any of this gameplay really meant. I don't know if they dove deeper in the tree houses. They
Right.
probably did, but I will say, like, dude, just having like this like new era of Nintendo that started with like Breath of the Wild is really interesting because they're really pushing certain mechanics that we just don't see much anymore. Like
It's true.
Tears of the Kingdom's like groundbreaking in many ways.
Oh, it was huge. Like nobody was doing what that
And
game was doing ever. I mean, dude, it was never done.
like the closest we got was like some games like back in the Xbox 360, PS3 era when we had some of the physics crazes and stuff. But
Oh
never
yeah.
never on that level cuz like Tears of the Kingdom has like the chemistry system still from Breath of the Wild, all the updated physics and just all these tools like
Yeah.
it's
Tears of the
crazy.
Kingdom is like Happy Wheels.
And
Like
basically it's just
it's
3D
Happy
Happy
Wheels if you
Wheels.
could. Yeah, it's
God,
Happy Wheels if you could edit it on the fly, like while you're playing.
Numa's such a hack. All he did was play a Flash game. But
It's just Happy Wheels.
I don't think the new Donkey Kong's gonna hit that level. I don't think any of us expect that really. But
Right.
it looks really smooth and satisfying because like
No,
just
it does. Like all the destruction
being
mechanics, it
able
looks like
to
Battlefield.
literally like monkey out great ape just like smash stuff and throw stuff seems
Monkey
like
out is crazy.
dude, it's like it looks cathartic.
It does look cathartic, just blowing things up and just smashing
Just
stuff. Just
beating on things.
oh.
I think I said this to a friend. Like I'm like, hello again, Incredible Hulk PS2.
Oh my god, dude! What a throwback! What the heck? What a throwback, dude!
Like
I just wanted more Donkey Kong Country. It seems like they have some 2D sections in it that look like Donkey Kong Country, which is cool. I'm just happy that we have Donkey Kong at all. I'm happy
it's
that we have
nice,
Donkey Kong at
but
all.
you know what you made me think of? You saying you wish it was just Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah,
Like
tell me.
this is something that really stirred up in my head when like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters came out,
Yeah,
and I'm just like sitting here thinking, okay, so like let's say even some of these Nintendo games that are 3D and like really polished, a lot of them probably don't have huge budgets. Like how much do
yeah,
you think Kirby and the Forgotten Land cost? I'm only gonna
probably
guess
like
10 to 30, like 10 to 30.
yeah. That definitely was not like a really expensive game to make.
But it's like, dude. So Nihon Falcom has like a $2 million operating budget a year.
I did not know that, but I mean, it makes sense. They reuse so many assets, So it's
So
like,
I'm like why don't more companies like do something like the Pixel remasters? Like here we've remade it in Unity using all these old sprite sheets, but just everything can work in Unity or whatever new engine, and then be like, let's just use these old tile sets, maybe change them up for aesthetical reasons and make like a new like classic styled Final Fantasy or like apply that to Donkey Kong. Why not just make like some touched up 2D art from like Country or just something and then just be like, yeah, just on the cheap, let's make a bunch of shorter, cheaper, more experimental like games using these old bones.
yeah, I would love that. We
Like
definitely
imagine if
need,
Donkey Kong Bonanza came out and they're like, "Hey, if you pre-order the game early, you get this this new 2D Donkey Kong that's basically like another Super Nintendo entry.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing to do. I'd like that. I mean, I think, and then sell it later for like $5 or something like that, or like
Yeah,
drop it for free later. That'd be cool. I'd
I
like to
feel
have
I
like
feel
just
like companies
something.
should do more of that. Like that it's like a Metroidvania. It's the Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth thing
Yes, yes. I've played that.
and that
Yes,
was
I
like
have that.
a free little celebratory thing when it first came out, and then it's like, oh well, now it's a full game.
Yeah, that's a really good game.
And like stuff like that can just drop as a promo. So you're telling me like a bigger company like Nintendo couldn't just be like, yeah, we had a small team of like 10 people basically make another like smaller scale Donkey Kong Country game that's just like a nice little thing.
No, that'd be sick. I mean, that's just like what they need to do. I mean, they just need to have that because, bro, with Nihon Falcom and like Ryuga Gotoku Studio, they are just reusing assets and they're pumping out games, and they're probably not spending a lot of money to do it,
Yeah, and
and I feel
even
like more studios need to do that. I mean, not saying that we, should just all just start reusing assets every time and just not have like much difference between our $60 to $70 games, but like, you know, especially for series that are like ongoing stories, I don't want to wait for 6 or 7 years to have another entry, I want that game to come out immediately.
yeah,
Like,
and that's
it,
something Noah and I have talked about for like the FF7 remake games. Because like
yes,
that
yes.
3 year turnaround, that's just something
Impressive. Yeah.
you're not seeing anywhere else.
No, especially not at that level and at that scale. You're just not seeing it. Doesn't exist.
Like
Not for a game that big.
so they should, and like more companies should just be like, okay, have like, you know, I completely understand having these big AAA projects that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Because
Right.
blockbuster movies have been a thing for like 100 years almost. Like we've had this type of thing. So just have your big blockbuster just cooking for like 5 or so years, because that's supposed to be what that's gonna be what pushes consoles, pushes your studio. Really show what you can do. But then it's like, hey, why not have like a few like $10 million games made by tiny teams that are just kind of experimental?
Yeah.
And like I've been listening to like this set of streamers and podcasters. Like I think you've probably heard of Giga Boots,
Yeah. He did not make enough articles for him to be substantial. It's
but
okay.
anyway, so a few of those guys have been going through like the Game Boy Mega Man games,
Yes.
and they're like, you can really see like the history of Mega Man starting to form like when you play these games, because it's like, okay, like Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 or whatever made in house at Capcom, but these Game Boy games, which ironically they're not ports of the NES versions, despite being called just Mega Man 1, 2, 3, and whatever. Because in Japan
Right.
they're called Rockman World, so it's just a side series. But the point,
Rockman World is crazy.
the point is that these are different games that were made by like a side studio, but this is where like the creative directors over at Capcom, who are telling them what to do, tried different ideas. Because like in some later classic Mega Man games, you have 4 robot masters, and then the other
Yes.
4 rather than all 8. That like first
Yep.
happened in the Game Boy Mega Man games, so they were experimenting with different structures and ideas and stuff. And we don't have that in gaming anymore, because the game takes 7 years to make.
Yeah. It does take
So I
literally forever.
I just think it would be cool to have that again, where it's like, here's our big game, once or twice a decade, and then here are these spin-offs that are interesting new ideas but don't stray too far from like the core of the series.
I think, I think you hit the nail on the head. I would love to just have more series, allow smaller sets of dev teams do smaller budget side stories and spin-off games. Like Pokemon does that sometimes, you know? Like every single Pokemon game is not a Game Freak game. You know, they have like other games, like that Pokemon Snap game.
Like, where's Pokemon Ranger?
Dude, okay, now you got me. I'm locked in. Pokemon Ranger is amazing.
They're
I was
so
so
good.
addicted to Pokemon Ranger. Man, all three of them, they were so freaking good. I remember
Dude,
like
I have like
spinning my
such a
stylus
story
around
for
the
one. Cause like
really.
I borrowed the first game from my cousin growing up. But
Hmm.
I beat it, loved it, returned it to him, but like their house burned down, and that was the only video game that
Oh my
survived,
god,
and the cartridge still works and had my save file on it.
the Pokemon stood the test. Or sorry, I was about to say something insane. You had a water Pokemon in there. You know, somebody was protecting it.
Yeah, my partner Pokemon, you know?
Yeah, your partner Pokemon was like it used its like energy and it was released right afterward. Like it was, you
But
know.
yeah, Pokemon Ranger is sick, and I've been so upset that it's been 15 years.
No, I know we've been waiting forever to get Pokemon Ranger. It's really frustrating. I really, really, really would love to have Pokemon Ranger back, especially with the Joy Cons. Instead of like it being a stylus, you could do it like in real life. Like you could have like the Super Styler or the
Yeah,
Styler
like
in your
in the
hand, and you'd be
games,
like
they're like
whipping
you
it.
have this object that you have to move around. That'd be so
Yeah, the
cool on
Styler. Yeah,
Switch.
imagine they had like a Styler,
Oh,
like a
they have like the
Styler, like
wrist strap to put the
yes, yes,
Joy-Con
like
in, bruh.
yes, dude, like a styler that you put your Joy-Con
That'd
in,
be
and then like
sick.
you're spinning it around
And the thing
in
is, now
real
the
life.
Joy-Cons are magnetic, so
Oh my
you could
god,
just
dude, they can do so many
like those
different things with
Common
that.
Rider toy belts they have in Japan. Just
Yes,
coordinate for yourself, like
you
activating
can
your
have a
styler.
styler, bro. I need to go to Seattle, and then I need to go to wherever TPC is, and then I need to tell them that you guys are literally fools for not having a Pokemon Ranger game on Switch with the Joy-Con, because like, bro, the stylus is one thing. When you have the Joy-Con in your hand, you really feel like you're catching the Pokemon. You know, same thing with the Let's Go games. You know, I had the Pokeball Plus. You know, like the little Pokeball controller, and you know, throwing it or pretending to throw it felt like I was catching the Pokemon. Like, you know, if we have the Joy-Con act as the styler, we're cooking. We are cooking. They need to do that. We need Pokemon Ranger back. Like we really need that back.
It'd be sick. And I get we're still getting some other Pokemon side stuff, like Legends is its own thing now.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't gotten another mystery dungeon since that remake.
I would love to see another mystery dungeon. I'm really frustrated that we don't have another
What we
one.
need is Pokemon Conquest back.
Mhm.
Imagine if they made a
Dude.
sequel for that with like their current like 3D and stuff.
Well,
Or like have
do you
that.
think they should do the same era of Japan, or like with Nobunaga
Ooh,
Oda, or like do you think they
that's
should
where
do
it's
like a Three Kingdoms version with like,
okay. That would
you
be
know,
really sick.
yeah, exactly. Imagine like having Guan Yu and Liu Bei and Zhang Fei and Lu
You see
Bu and Zhao Yun.
what they're gonna do to appeal to the Western audience is make it like the American Revolutionary War, and it's not gonna
Oh,
sell at all in Britain.
no, it's going to like bomb if they do that. They can't do that. The Three Kingdoms Pokemon would definitely sell.
Not a
That would
Civil War
100%
one.
sell. No, no. A Civil War Pokemon? Hell.
That's Black and White 3.
Oh my God, Black and White. We need a remake for those immediately. And it cannot
Dude,
be like BDSP. I don't want that. Ilka, please
no,
stay away.
please.
Ilka,
Dude,
please stay away.
legit, like an idea I threw around with a buddy once was what if Square just was like, hey, let's license out HD 2D?
Oh.
Imagine getting like HD 2D Gen 5.
Dude, if we had, oh my God. Can you imagine that? Like Pokemon HD 2D would be so sick.
Imagine those sprite animations with like all these cool effects and like
Yeah.
that near diorama look. Unova would be so gorgeous in HD
Have you
2D.
seen Gamma Emerald, like the fan
Uh,
project?
I've only heard of it. I haven't seen like any footage yet.
It's literally like exactly what you're. It's literally exactly what you're describing. It's
Bruh.
an HD 2D version of Pokemon Emerald.
Like, and
It's
this could go
incredible.
for so many games. Imagine if Atlas had it. Imagine like the original SMT and Persona games with an HD 2D facelift.
That would be awesome. I'm just I just really need HD2D in other games, bro. Square having a monopoly on it because it's theirs, obviously. Um, and nobody else can really copy it. It's probably not even legal to steal it because that's their thing.
And they worked with Epic
Um,
to do it.
yeah, it's a pretty incredible feat. I think anybody who's downplaying HD2D needs to wake up. Like, look at those games. Look at the games they're releasing with HD2D. They're
A
gorgeous.
lot of people like talking about like, oh, the style contrast, but if you really look into even the history of just pixel art, look at a Super Nintendo RPG. Like the battle screens and like FFs 4 through 6, or even something like Chrono Trigger or like Trials of Mana, like those character sprites are basically on what's a painting that's slightly pixelated. Like, what do you guys
Right.
want?
No, I have no idea. Honestly, it's like people, nobody knows what they want. Nobody knows what they need. Everybody is just, oh man, everybody's just upset about everything and everybody has a problem with everything nowadays. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, there's always somebody who has an issue with something, and then there's always like a group of people who come out of nowhere that, you thought something was just the best thing ever. And then all of a sudden it's like the worst game ever made, you know, because of a group of one dude who made some viral post that just hit the right audience. And now you're being made aware of, 10,000 people that just happen to dislike the thing that you really thought was, you know, not dislikable. Now everybody has an opinion, but like some people just create opinions out of thin air based on nothing. Like,
Like, I'm such the type of person who I try to categorize things in like things that interest me and don't, because I like giving things the benefit of the doubt. Because sometimes,
yeah,
like let's say, oh, maybe this buddy of mine's really bugging me about this one anime, and sometimes everyone adopts that contrarian stance from time to time, where it's
yeah,
like, no, this thing's popular, but then sometimes you engage with a thing and go, okay, this is why it's praised or why it's popular. And
yeah,
a lot of the times it will just be people who don't want to bother faithfully engaging with something, and they're just taking like a knee jerk reaction or a stance that they have nothing to solidify with, you know?
yeah. I'm looking at the sales of Pokemon Ranger and now I'm realizing why
Oh, are they
they only
not
made
amazing?
3. Yeah, so the first Pokemon Ranger as of March 31st, 2008, that was the last time that this was reported, and this is Bulba Garden, has sold 2.7 million copies. That for a Pokemon game
Ooh.
is not a lot.
And
Um,
that's over the course of 2 years.
yeah,
And it was an early
exactly.
DS game. That was early.
Yeah, when
So
people
it
were
didn't even
looking
get
for
that early
Pokemon.
adoption buff.
Yeah, it was like the DS came out what, 05?
I think it was late '04 in like maybe Japan or
Really?
something, but
Oh,
it's practically '05.
yeah. I need to go to Guardian Signs and see if I can see the amount of sales that Guardian Signs had. Yeah, no. No. We don't even know what the worldwide sales for Guardian Signs are.
You know how
Um,
like movie companies and stuff have to report like box office sales and stuff?
yeah.
We should have game companies should have to report their sales in my opinion,
Publicly. Yeah, I agree.
and like
I
actually tell
agree.
you different things, cuz like there's rumors floating around certain games. Like the DMC Devil May Cry reboot.
Yes.
Well, there's, I've heard some conspiracy theories of they're like, oh, it sold like 7 or 8 million or whatever, but it also was on PS Plus, like free monthly games, like during the height of the PlayStation Network. So it's like, how many of
Yeah,
those sales were buffed out by that?
a lot, a lot. You
Because,
can't tell me how many Horizon sales are fake. I mean, like that game is astroturfed to hell and back.
like, dude, it really, I don't want to scream industry plant.
It's like Dochi, bro. Like, where did you come from? Like, I don't even know
And like,
where.
I can look at those games and be like, yeah, they're well made. But I also don't look at those games and think that's a 10 million unit pushing series.
It's definitely not. Yeah,
And the
it's
most I've
definitely
ever
not.
heard anyone say is, yeah, I played it. And
Yeah, it's never
that's
like
it.
a, oh my god, dude, that game was like mind blowing. Like, they're never having like a Last of Us moment or like, some crazy, like the most insane game they've ever played. Like you would think with the amount of sales that it has and the amount of spin-offs they're trying to make, you would think that that game is like blowing people's minds, but it's just like an 8 out of 10 like pretty game with decent combat, and an okay story. Like even my friend who's like played the heck out of it, got a platinum and all the like he was just like it's okay. It's an okay game. He's like,
The best thing Horizon Zero Dawn did was give us the Decima engine so that Kojima could make Death Stranding.
dude, facts. Yeah, facts. Facts, facts,
So
facts, facts, facts.
where's
The
Death
Decima engine
Stranding
is
on
so
Switch?
good.
Where's Death Stranding on Switch 2?
We definitely need that. I will
Like,
tell you right now, I am looking
it's
forward
gonna
to
be,
it. I hope that they
dude.
do it.
Imagine like some of the ads they could do for that. Like, be a porter portably, just as a
Okay.
dude on a Switch.
Dude, did you ever watch Dashie back in the day?
Nope.
Bro, back in the day, Dashie XP on his second channel, he would do the same level of witty puns that you do. Like, but consistently and constantly for like 20 minutes of vlog.
Bruh.
Like he'd just be like, I don't even know how he was coming up with them, but they were so funny, dude. It just reminded me of Dashie. Dashie obviously became famous for Dashie games and playing Mario Kart 8 and playing Mario Maker. But he back in the day when I was like much younger, he was a big freaking YouTuber. Um, but dude, he was a punster. You should start making slogans for companies based off of what you just said.
Dude, like, let me go on LinkedIn and like put some like fake information about me being like, an advisor and all these other things, and I'll hook you companies up.
No, you cannot leave. I need you.
I can do both. We'll say this is a final weapon service and just extend the company out.
I like that. I like that. Well, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I'm going to do a lot of editing on this, though, for sure. But I
Oh
don't know if I
man.
have anything else to talk about unless you do.
I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna get a quick news refresh.
You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We talked about like the new like terms of service stuff. Like people are overblowing it because ultimately, guess what? This isn't gonna affect 99% of the people who use the console.
Yeah,
Like you and I both like technology. We've probably dabbled in some fan translation and preservationism of gaming because
of
that
course.
is a real problem. Like I know people
Yeah,
who legitimately back up their game discs for like older
that's
consoles.
yeah, it's concerning that like we're kind of like having this descent into losing our own autonomy over the things that we buy.
And it,
Like
it sucks that Nintendo can brick your Switch if you're trying to do whatever, but ultimately, if there's a will, there's a way. That's all I'm gonna say
yeah,
about it.
We can't even like own our own things anymore, and like we just have to be okay with it because we want to be entertained because we're human, and as long as we're human, we're going to want to be entertained.
Yeah, we
And,
gotta we gotta fill all that dead space till the end
that's dark. And with
with
that,
Nintendo.
yeah,
Like that's what makes
yeah,
life worth living, right?
yeah, Nintendo filling all of the depression and darkness within our
I
hearts
mean,
is what we need to continue breathing.
sadly, this started as a joke, but it's kind of not ending as one.
It's true. It's true. That's why we're here. Welcome to Switch Point.
Where Nintendo makes us really happy.
Yes, we love Nintendo. Thank you so much, Nintendo, for continuing to provide incredible experiences. Please bring back Pokemon Ranger. That would really scintillate the senses.
Like
I'd love
that would give me the last 10 points of happiness I need
Yes.
before passing
Yes.
on. I need
Dude, oh my
Pokemon
God.
Ranger 4. I can die happy when we get it.
Oh my God. I'm just like, oh. They're like, no, you didn't even play it yet. I'm like, oh.
No, I just know it exists. My legacy will go on.
That's all I need. I don't want to know if it's good or bad, because if it's bad, I'm going to really want to die. Let me die knowing that it exists. Oh, man. I don't think it's ever coming back. But, like,
yeah.
It's definitely not coming
Oh
back.
my gosh. Are they going to push it to phones?
That's not a big deal. If they had a full-blown Pokemon Ranger game on the phone, that'd be cool. I'd like that. I would not have a problem with that. But my thing was
they should port
Joy-Cons.
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks to something. I guess that's one last little thing we can, before we bail out, let's go full ADHD and just be like, well, one more.
Well, one more is Phantom Hourglass for sure. I love Spirit Tracks as well. Phantom Hourglass used to terrify me.
So how are we,
the dark nuts in it?
Dude, the Phantoms, like that's legit. Yeah. That's legit. Some scare, like legit scared me as a kid.
Actual horror game, by the way. Actual horror game, and I don't know how I don't know how I got through it.
Dude, you get that camera cut. You get like that camera cut and zoom in and scary music.
Oh no, I can't.
And you're constantly watching the timer tick. Like, bruh,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I
don't even like horror games, and I beat Resident Evil 2 remake on the hardest difficulty, and I was like literally locked up and terrified. I mean, I got through it because I had my friend like kind of in the background, but like I don't think I can do it. Phantom Hourglass, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do Minecraft sometimes. I'm like, this is too much for me, guys.
I mean, it does get dark, and a lot of things make a lot of noises in Minecraft.
Dude, and the noises like they echo, and like there's just like
the music will fade out, and you're hearing things that could just round a corner and just pop you.
No, the spiders.
Hero Brian might be in there.
Hero Brian, when you hear a ghast in the Nether.
Oh gosh,
and it's like
legit freaky, like especially like
super freaky,
dude. But yeah, I was gonna say, we have all these Nintendo Switch Online apps, so they should give us DS. Like I don't care what you gotta do to some of these things to make them work.
Just make it side by side, or make like the Switch like flippable. And you know how they have like that flip mount? For the Joy-Cons? Just do that.
Like
it might be really big and silly looking, but like
I get to play DS games. So
exactly, it doesn't matter. Like we can play DS games. I'd love that.
And for things like closing the thing, just give me like a button, or like they have that menu that you can open up. Like just do it, because I just kind of want to play Phantom Hourglass without busting out a DS out of the closet.
Oh, I know. Bro, remember the ghost ship?
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
Also thought about like Spirit Tracks the other day. Like, how every new place you go, you have a stamp book?
Yes.
I like it when games do little touches like that.
Yeah, it's cute. I'm a fan of it.
Gotta blow in the DS mic to play the flute.
Man, that was so stressful because I was really blowing. Like, I didn't think there was any other way. It's just like... Remember like the balloon game on
bruh.
Mario 64 DS?
Dog. Dude, You know what also had crazy DS mini games? Mario Party
What?
DS,
Dog,
and it had like a crazy story mode too.
a story mode?
Yeah, like it had like an actual story mode
I didn't know that.
where you have to like play through different boards, and there's like this thing with Kamek where you're like trying to chase him because I think the whole conceit is like you got shrunk down or something because it's a DS game.
Right.
I think that's what it is, but I know you're after Kamek and that's like the story mode, and you go through like multiple boards, and
I have no idea.
it has like little storybook cutscenes almost.
Mm.
I played a lot of DS growing up, so
Oh, I did. I was on Flipnote Hatena when the DSi came out.
dude, like
I still
I
have
didn't
all
have
my
home
old
I didn't have home internet and would go to school, connect to it, and watch Flipnote Hatena. Just go through
Did you
and
ever
through.
download any?
Some of them, like, dude, there's like a Sonic and Shadow, like Linkin Park one
Oh, of
that I
course, of
remember
course, of
seeing.
course. Papa Roach Last Resort, like all the new metal like being played through the DSi microphone to be like put in the flip note.
I
Like,
even made a bunch of my own as a kid, just stick figure
oh dude, yeah,
animations.
stick figure fights. Stick figure fights. Like you remember like Boss and like Nintendo, like the users that would make flip notes
Oh
that were
yeah,
like these
yeah.
insane battles. Brother, I have all of them on my DSi,
Oof.
just to let you know. And I have the original memory, like of when I had it as a kid, and they're all still there. I have so much stuff from like Flipnote Hatena, I could probably like internet archive it if like it's
On,
not on the internet already.
dude, for real.
I remember there was a website too for Flipnote.
That's another thing. I miss Nintendo's quirky little services and stuff.
Yeah, it was super quirky and it was it was definitely popular. I don't know what happened or why they stopped doing it. Um
Because like Flipnote 3D didn't really have the same vibe to it.
Yeah, Flipnote or Hatena still exists. Hatena has 71 employees. 71?
Like I'm just like reeling from you saying they exist. Like I guess I just was not aware.
Yeah, because it was Flipnote Studio and Hatena was the online service for Flipnote Studio. But Hatena was a different company that they were
Okay.
using to host the Flipnotes, I think, is what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, hold
that probably
on.
makes sense because I figure Nintendo might not have been experts at having a service like that.
Yes, it was Hatena who managed Flipnote Hatena. Hatena was the online service for Flipnote Studio.
But don't you also remember some of the other quirky like 3DS things like that what was it called where you take a picture of like people's faces and it's like a shooter, and then things like the AR cards.
Oh, dude, I remember that. I can't remember. I can't remember. But I do remember what you're talking about. I don't remember what it was called.
Also, just I miss Street Pass. I really miss Street Pass.
Yeah. Street Pass is something that we need back. We need that back. We need it back. We need all these quirky Nintendo things back so that I can feel like a real Nintendo geeker again. Like,
Like
you
I,
know,
I want to enter full man child mode anytime I pick up my Switch. I want to feel. I want to
is that not
feel.
what the majority of people do when they
No,
is that not what the
they're
majority of
very
people do when
serious
they pick up a Switch?
people to where they
Man, I really got to play this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet right now and catch this Tatsugiri. Like,
and go on Twitter
yeah.
and call JRPGs bad while I'm playing Pokemon.
Oh, and with that pain, and with that, we have to end the podcast.
Yeah, we'll end it here. And sorry, annoying online people. The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a JRPG machine, so I win.
Exactly. You guys are just gonna have to suck it up.
Enjoy your
Reality is
Pokemon
reality.
Scarlet and Violet update. I'll be playing Bravely Default HD on a game key card.
It's like who's really winning?
Anyway,
Who's really winning?
this will be a monumental episode for with you, Rain, because we definitely switched things up this time. I'll definitely say that.
This is refreshing and it's new, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will be doing lots of work on it that you won't even know because you'll see the final product and you won't see the previous one. But
Rain is an agent of chaos.
yes, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.